If you are looking for the best GPU for laptops, then you are at right place there. Watch this video till end and subscribe to the channel. We have also put links of products in the description. Make sure you have viewed it once. Let's start the video. Number 1. Nvidia RTX 3080. If you can find any of the best graphics cards for close to their retail price, then we're confident in recommending the RTX 3080 as the one you should strongly consider. Having launched at just $699, this Ampere GPU proved that super fast 4K gaming on PC wouldn't have to cost as much as the previous RTX generation did. Even in 2022, there's nothing that the RTX 3080 can't achieve in 4K, especially when factoring in the benefits of DLSS for the less well-optimized titles on the platform. The numbers are suitably self-evident too. If the RTX 3070 base model could outperform the RTX 2080 Ti, at least in many conditions, then the RTX 3080 absolutely decimates those figures. In our testing, we were impressed by just how well the RTX 3080 could handle 4K gaming in all the latest games, such as Guardians of the Galaxy, while not finding too much to break into a sweat. The only real drawback to a card running 10GB VRAM is that modern games' HD textures can push the memory requirements into the 12GB plus field, as we've seen with the likes of Resident Evil Village and Far Cry 6. However, for most circumstances, the RTX 3080 isn't just a flagship GPU, it's a once-in-a-decade performance boost that would be far more popular inside the machines of gamers the world over if you could buy one at MSRP. Also worth considering is the improved thermal design of the Founders Edition model, and comparatively low temperatures when stacked up against some other RTX 30 series models, meaning it'll tick over like a watch for many years to come. Number 2. AMD Radeon RX 6800 XT. At release, the AMD Radeon RX 6800 XT was poised to take on Nvidia's RTX 3080, and while this card doesn't quite take that GPU crown, it does position itself as one of the best graphics cards from AMD at the moment. In 1440, there are definitely instances where the RX 6800 XT is neck and neck with the RTX 3080, such as in Watch Dogs Legion at ultra settings. Though 4K is where the divide starts to show the most, the ray tracing capabilities of the AMD Radeon RX 6800 XT may be admittedly disappointing when stacked up with the higher-end Nvidia GPU, though it's in that extra VRAM where the speed of Team Red's video card starts to shine. We're starting to see more Radeon-optimized games demand upwards of 11GB of VRAM, which only the RTX 3080 Ti and RTX 3090 are capable of at the time of writing, in titles such as Far Cry 6 with HD textures. This is a big jump, and it's likely that we'll see more developers in the near future wanting to utilize upwards of 12GB in this current PC gaming generation we're in. Number 3. Nvidia RTX 3050. The RTX 3050 is the newest budget Ampere video card designed with 1080x60 in mind, making it perfect for those budget-minded PC gamers in 2022. Armed in the same 8GB GDDR6 memory that you'll find in prior RTX 30 series GPUs are roundup, the RTX 3050 is the best budget graphics card that you can get right now. In our testing, we found that even more demanding titles such as Guardians of the Galaxy, Control, and Metro Exodus ran at a rock-solid 60 FPS with ray tracing and DLSS enabled in Full HD. 1440p is also decent in many games, though it's usually going to be a toss-up between having visual fidelity and performance, as the 60 FPS average normally means disabling ray tracing and going heavier on the DLSS upscaling options. Regardless of how you push to that smooth frame rate, this video card can keep up well under most circumstances. You need to keep your expectations in check, of course, as the RTX 3050 is a wallet-friendly GPU designed to replace the likes of the perennially popular GTX 1650 and 1660 lines. That means that 4K just isn't on the cards for this particular model. But if you're after something affordable that gives you ray tracing, then you really can't go wrong. The RTX 3050 launched with an MSRP of $250, and at the time of writing, you can find RTX 3050 stock for around the $300 mark if you know where to look. The Gigabyte GeForce RTX 3050 Eagle OC is something of an enigma in the world of video cards right now, with its $249/PS239 asking price. Despite the hype behind this unit, I'll be the first to tell you that it's unlikely to stack up as one of the best graphics cards for gaming from a technical perspective. However, it does achieve its 1080p goal admirably under the right conditions. If you're after a budget GPU to see you through until the current market levels out, then this could be a decent option for you. The same can be said if you're running aging hardware that can't quite keep up with the newest games. Truth be told, the Gigabyte GeForce RTX 3050 Eagle OC can keep up, for sure, but it certainly needs a little help to get to that point. Number 4. Nvidia RTX 3070 Ti. The RTX 3070 Ti may appear on the surface to be an only slightly upgraded version of the original model, but the reinforced edition features one major difference that tips it over the edge: a bump up to GDDR6X RAM as used by the high-end RTX 3080 line and the RTX 3090. We're also seeing an extra 256 CUDA cores for slightly better ray tracing support, but this difference is very minor overall. The upgraded memory type and faster clock speed over the original RTX 3070 provides a solid 10–15% performance boost, whilst meaning it will be able to be pushed further by more intensive games in the future through an allowance for higher bandwidths. The gaming performance of the RTX 3070 Ti is something to be commended, as it's frequently been able to maintain a solid 60 FPS in 4K in some of the latest titles such as Halo Infinite and Deathloop in high settings. We've been consistently impressed with what this GPU can do, and if you're aiming for 4K 60 or 1440p in high frame rates, then you're going to be very happy with what this video card can do. Number 5. Nvidia RTX 3060 Ti. The RTX 3060 Ti offers performance that was previously thought impossible from an entry-level graphics card only 3 years ago. The benchmarks don't lie. This video card runs circles around the RTX 2080 Super, the previous high-end GPU, to beat while costing half as much. It really is that simple. Now, 4K isn't really going to be the RTX 3060's strong suit. While achieving good visuals is possible, it's geared more towards higher frame rates and 1440p and steamrolling through full HD games pushed to their absolute limit. Again, that's not to say that the GPU can't benefit from Ultra HD, especially with the benefits of DLSS, but it's not a card built with this resolution in mind. If you can find the RTX 3060 Ti for a fair price online, then it's going to be ideal for the vast majority of PC gamers. If you can put aside a consistent 4K average and favor more general gaming performance and lower resolutions, that is. Number 6. Nvidia RTX 3080 Ti. For as powerful as the RTX 3080 Ti is, especially given its upgrade to 12GB GDDR6X VRAM as opposed to the original model's 10GB, that boost in power comes at a steep price of an additional $500 above the stock RTX 3080, pricing it comparatively closer to the RTX 3090's $1,499 MSRP, which has double the available memory. Price aside, however, there's little debate that the RTX 3080 Ti is a formidable GPU for high-end 4K gaming, as the benchmarks can indicate. We're essentially seeing a noticeable improvement on the stock RTX 3080. But that power difference comes into its own when looking at games such as Cyberpunk 2077, which, at the time of writing, cannot yet hit native 4K 60 on anything right now. Make no mistake, you're getting an incredibly capable and future-proof GPU that's going to be able to burn through the vast majority of demanding games in 1440p and 4K with no compromises for many years to come. Number 7. AMD Radeon RX 6600 XT. The RX 6600 XT is built first and foremost with being one of the best graphics cards for PC gamers aiming for fast frame rates in 1080p. It's been geared in the marketing primarily towards the esports crowd, as the competitive games in the circuit may not be too visually demanding, but require super high FPS to compensate. The RX 6600 XT is a decent rival to Nvidia's base RTX 3060 model. However, if you're thinking of picking this GPU up for 1440p performance, then you may need to cast a wider net in the field of AMD. While the RTX 3060 Ti generally does ray tracing in full HD better, the benchmarks for the RX 6600 XT really do speak for themselves. AMD published the full list online, where the GPU managed well above 70 FPS in the likes of Far Cry 6, Hitman 3, Resident Evil Village, Deathloop, and more. If you wanted to max out the latest titles in full HD, then this video card will serve you well. So, hope you enjoyed our video and subscribe to the channel. We have also put links to description, make sure you have check it out. We will be right there in next video. Take care, bye.